After 100 years of waiting, Marvel finally decided to bless us with a teaser trailer of Thor Love and Thunder. Now, we've been waiting for this ever since they announced Phase 4 of the MCU, even more so because director Taika Waititi promised us another Ragnarok-like film. Not only did Marvel show us our beloved God of Thunder again, but they also left a ton of clues and Easter eggs throughout the 1.5-minute teaser. From Chris Hemsworth's comic-accurate costumes to the return of Mjolnir, we're all locked in for Love and Thunder's Easter eggs you might have missed. First up, an eye for an eye. Let's start right at the beginning of the trailer. In a close-up shot of Chris Hemsworth as Thor, you can clearly see his eyes that are as blue as the ocean. Not that we're complaining about Hemsworth's beautiful eyes, but isn't he supposed to have a different colored eye? Let me take you back to Ragnarok when Thor lost his right eye during an epic battle with his evil sister Hela. Instead of his eye patch, Thor got a false eye from Rocket Raccoon back in Avengers Infinity War. Except, the false eye was brown. How did it magically become blue again? Something about these gods really doesn't make sense sometimes. Some fans are arguing whether this is a continuity error, but we expect better from Taika Waititi. Maybe Thor decided to have this fake eye match the real one, so he got a new blue one. Only time can tell for sure. Next, running through. Did you enjoy the scene when Thor runs through the woods and transitions from a little boy to a teenager, and then to the God of Thunder that we know today? No? Go watch it again. The scene is a great piece of cinematography, but that's beyond the point here. If you look closely at Thor's costume from his teenage era, you might recognize it as 100% comic accurate. Only some of the biggest comic fans might be able to notice this Easter egg though, but we're still glad that the MCU is staying as true to its roots as possible. Up next, are those flying goats? Speaking of the comics, the MCU finally decided to bring flying goats into the movies. Tangrisnir and Tangjoster. Whether you know them from the Norse mythology or from the Thor comics, these flying goats are basically iconic. They pull the chariot that takes Thor around all the cosmos, and it seems like he's going to be traveling a lot in Love and Thunder. The flying goats came with an interesting tweet from screenwriter Zack Stentz. He revealed that it was originally planned to use the goats back in the first Thor film, but both Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige straight up said no. In their defense, seeing flying goats in Phase 1 of the MCU might have been too overwhelming for some of us. Now, the strongest Avenger. When we saw a bulky Thor back in Avengers Endgame, it would be safe to say that we were confused. Who we once knew as the chiseled God of Thunder was now sporting a beer belly and spending all his time playing Fortnite on New Asgard. That's what happens when half the world is wiped out by a purple evil monster. That's right, Thanos, we're looking at you. But now that Thanos is out of the picture and Thor is traveling around the cosmos with the Guardians, we're glad that he decided to get back into his superhero fighting shape. Thor's workout montage included some giant-sized chains, but we're more concerned about the cap that he was wearing. It appears to say Strongest Avenger, which is a huge reference to the feud between Thor and Hulk. Our two superheroes never got to conclude who was the strongest, but we think Thor took the title and claimed it for himself. Up next, the Ravager. After Thor ditches his unhealthy lifestyle and gets that godlike body back, he goes on some sort of journey of spiritual awakening. Now, he obviously can't wear Asgardian battle armor on a spiritual journey, right? So he ditches it and borrows a few clothes from his old friends, Guardians of the Galaxy. In a brief moment, we saw Thor wearing a t-shirt, jeans, and a sleeveless cut-off jacket that's about to be the latest fashion trend of the summer, or not. If you look closely, you might notice that this outfit comes straight from the Ravagers, a cosmic group of outlaws that was run by Yondu in both Guardians of the Galaxy films. And then, God Butcher. During Thor's mysterious journey through the cosmos, one of the places that he visits is Olympus, or home of the Greek gods. Anyone who likes Greek mythology probably screamed their heart out at the mesmerizing scene of the bustling city. But who's the big villain in Love and Thunder? None other than God Butcher himself. You can probably tell by the name that we'll get to meet some gods during this film, only to watch them get slaughtered later. Now time for Greek mythology. Speaking of gods, the teaser also showed us someone holding a golden lightning bolt. Who could that be? Just kidding, we already know it's Zeus and we're super excited for it. Russell Crowe is playing Zeus in this Thor film as he revealed on an Australian radio show sometime last year. Even though we didn't see his face in the teaser, we definitely felt his presence throughout. In the same scene, we saw Thor, Jane Foster, Korg, and Valkyrie being escorted along the Olympus walkway. Either Team Thor is about to team up with the god of the sky, or they've come to warn him about something. When a movie's villain is literally named God Butcher, we'd prefer that Team Thor come with a warning. Next, as Guardians of the Galaxy. We know it's been ages since Endgame was released, but we still expect you to remember most of it. Thor gave a new nickname to the Guardians in the closing moments, as Guardians of the Galaxy. Now that the entire group has become friendly enough, you can expect to see Guardians alongside Thor in Love and Thunder. However, we still don't know how crucial the Guardians' role is in this new Thor film. Either way, we were still happy to see Star-Lord, Nebula, Mantis, Drax, Rocket, and Groot return to our screens for once. We did miss Nebula though. Interestingly, even Kraglin was there. We still don't know whether Kraglin is officially a Guardian now, but he was the only survivor from the Ravagers group from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We wonder how MCU has decided to take his story forward. Now, Thalagar the Behemoth. Love and Thunder pays homage to the comics time and time again. In Jason Aaron's Thor God of Thunder #3, comic fans enjoyed following Thor on his journey of following god corpses that were left behind by Gore the God Butcher. At one point, the God of Thunder stands on top of a mountain edge and looks at the massive corpse of Thalagar the Behemoth. The MCU left no stone unturned in turning that exact scene into reality. It's so accurate that many of us are speculating whether they inserted the panel into the film directly and then color graded it to match the film. No, really, it's super accurate. Next, King Valkyrie. We're thrilled to see Tessa Thompson back as Valkyrie, especially as the new ruler of New Asgard. The teaser only gave us a shot of her sitting through some bureaucratic meeting, but she did look ridiculously bored. Looks like she'd rather be fighting off cosmic entities than attending meetings on lawmaking. Even though it wasn't in the teaser, we think it's important to fill you guys in on the latest MCU leaks too. According to the Marvel Legends figures, King Valkyrie has an all-new suit that definitely fits her title. Taking inspiration from Thor's original Asgard look, King Valkyrie's armor has a black and white design with silver metallic pieces throughout. Apart from her book, even New Asgard has a new color palette. It's bright, cheery, and populated with many houses and attractions now. That's the kind of glow-up that we love to see. We've also heard that New Asgard will serve as a tourist attraction for those who want to explore the Earth-based home of the cosmos. Outsiders can even tour the entire place on a space goat chariot. Lastly, the mighty Thor and broken Mjolnir. The most important scene from the entire teaser trailer was probably in the closing moments. Natalie Portman made her dramatic entrance as the mighty Thor, something we've been waiting for since the first Thor movie. According to the comics, Thor's girlfriend Jane develops an aggressive cancer and Thor lets her wield Mjolnir to help keep her alive. We don't know how much of that storyline the MCU will follow, but whatever it is, we're totally in for it. When the mighty Thor yields a reforged Mjolnir, we can't help but wonder what happened. As far as we know, Mjolnir was shattered to bits by Hela in the last Thor movie, and this one certainly looks like it's been put back together piece by piece. And that's a wrap for this video. Are you excited to see Thor Love and Thunder hit the cinema this summer? What Easter eggs did you catch in the teaser? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to never miss a video from us again. Until next time.